Okay, so here's our coleslaw. As I said, we have the kohlrabi, purple cabbage, carrots. There's scallions in there as well as yellow grapes, yellow raisins. You can put grapes in too. The big difference, people are always like, what's the difference between grapes and raisins, is that there's not. If you buy raisins that don't have sugar added, then they're just a grape without water. So in terms of like carb content, it's not different because matter can't be created or destroyed. So if you take a grape and you dry it out, you have the same amount of sugar in a grape as a raisin. The only difference is that if you had, for example, a cup of raisins and a cup of grapes, you would have far more sugar in a cup of raisins because you can fit more raisins in there without them being plump and full of water. So if you have a cup of raisins, maybe there's 10 or 12 grapes in there, so you know that's how much sugar you'd have is whatever's in 10 or 12 grapes. But if you put a cup of raisins, you've probably got close to 100 raisins in there, so you're eating like 10 times as many. So in terms of carbs and sugar, there's no difference between a grape and a raisin. It's just the volume that you eat them. Okay, does that make sense? Because people are always like, oh, raisins are bad because they're so full of sugar. Well, if you get them without added sugar, they're the same as a grape. It's just the quantity you have to be careful of. So I love to add the dried fruit to coleslaw. So there's raisins in here. Sometimes I put in dried cranberries, and because they're so tart, they usually have added sugar. But if you add a little bit and then it's divided, I mean, look at the volume of this. Like, we'll be eating this for days. If you balance it out, you know, if you want cranberries in your dried cranberries in your coleslaw, then it's not adding that much sugar, extra sugar overall. And then of course, if you make a vinaigrette, you might add sugar too. So you have to be careful of that. I just mixed together some olive oil, vinegar. I used some apple cider vinegar as well as some rice wine vinegar and a little bit of water and a ground mustard seeds, a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder, and then I just shook it all together and poured it on, and that's what we have for a vinaigrette. The reason I do this is because sometimes people don't like mayonnaise, so there's extended people in the family who don't eat mayonnaise, so they wouldn't eat this. As well as, I don't know, I think it looks kind of like fresh and fun, don't you? And kind of purpley. The more you mix it, the more purple you're gonna get. So eventually everything's gonna turn purple. But that's okay. It's cabbage, it's good for you. So you can add anything you want to coleslaw. You could add sweet peppers or hot peppers. Any of the colors, you just put them through the food processor, or if you have a box grater. I don't know, anything you want can go in there. Apples, I've done that. Those I'd have to make a smaller quantity because the apples will kind of get brown over time. So, but I've definitely added apples before, put them through, even with the skin. They're good. Green apples, red apples, whatever you like. I like the tart stuff. So anything, like, what do you put in your coleslaw? Is it just cabbage, carrots, and mayonnaise, or do you make something different? So here's my kohlrabi slaw with a vinaigrette, and hope you like it. And I'm trying to keep the videos slower, so I didn't show the whole making of this. If you want to see, let me know if you like the shorter versions or if you want to see the whole process start to finish. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.